on your phone.
Apps?
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me?
No.
What
I think
apps?
that,
I have over like 400 apps.
Yeah, I know, but I think
get
apps are
new
going
ones
to
every
become
day.
obsolete.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I think people just have too much, and then they'll just have like Facebook something, and that's all their phone will be.
Apps never.
Do that.
Yeah, because that's all you need a phone for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly. So all the rest of our apps.
there's like fun apps though, like games and stuff.
The internet's just your phone is just gonna become more efficient than your computer. You're not gonna need to carry around a PC. You're gonna be using your phone to write documents, to print articles, to do your research. You're gonna be able to do all that on your phone. You're not gonna need a PC because
Except you'll have like screens and stuff. You
can plug it in.
If you want to have a
big
huge
screen.
screen, then you'll have one of those that just plug into the
Is that yours?
to your TV.
I want to put this.
Mobile stuff is like becoming just because the whole world likes efficiency, that speed and easy accessibility is gonna be the main thing.
You guys have no idea that like that's the funny thing is like you two could go in to like a Fortune 500 company, have this exact conversation with them, and they would offer you a job like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like you would. I mean, that should happen.
Well, yeah. Well,
those old people think they think, oh, I'd never hire a 12-year-old, and that's the only thing that's a 14-year-old, and that's the only thing that's stopping them. And that thought,
well,
if they actually bothered to like sit down and have this conversation, they would realize that they are so obsolete in all their thinking.
Because we're on the internet, we're on the computer 10 times more than them.
Yep.
Kids use
And our
the
job
internet.
would be to be on the internet for them, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, that's what you're doing already, just by being a consumer on the internet.
It's
you
funny.
guys are really
It's funny how you start off screwing around on the internet. You start off with like addicting games or something, and then you grow to where you're doing this stuff that even adults can't do.
Yeah, your whole mature process. I mean, you still are doing these like addicting games and stuff, but
like
the more and more
games
you're finding out, like you have become past like what an adult is able to do now on the internet in like, a span of like 4 or 5 years.
No, not even.
The sites are checked like every hour.
I've been on the internet. I started going on the internet two years ago, maybe.
I started heavily using the internet this year.
Yeah, like things we've
like
learned
in the past year.
Things we've learned in like 3 months are what adults learn in like
it would
a
take
couple
me
years,
probably like a year to learn all the stuff that you guys know.
That's because our brains are so absorbent at the age that we're
an internet
at.
kid. Like I grew up. I mean, most of my studying and stuff. Like versus like a 30-year-old, your average 30-year-old, I know way more.
Yeah.
Than your average 30-year-old, and
then there's us
and
who
you guys
know a
just
ton more than you.
Dominate me, and that's what I
Well, I
study.
was surprised that you didn't know the emulators.
I know what an emulator is.
You know what an EMP is, but you didn't know what a fire sale was.
No,
I knew.
But what was the thing with the screens?
DOS? No.
No, not DOS. Where you could do it from another computer. Proxies.
VNC. Proxies and VNC.
See,
8-year-olds.
Servers.
8-year-olds know how to use proxies and why they're useful.
Yeah. See, that is true. Like
you could ask any kid from like 4th grade and up in my school how to get to YouTube. You could be like, "Oh, YouTube's banned. Can you help me get on?" And an 8-year-old could get you on there, no problem.
Easily.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard, but like.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it.
Kids, exactly. Like kids these days and the stuff they learn just hanging around with other kids. I mean, you think Tanner and me like know a lot. Other kids these kids know how to program
stuff.
stuff.
And Sean.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like,
these kids know how to program. These kids know how to hack.
Like the nerdiest kids that are like, not saying you guys are nerdy, but the like computer whizzes of my era that I would go
have
to.
Nothing on the kids.
They got nothing on you guys, and they spent. I mean,
years.
They got nothing
on us.
Like kids in our class. I mean, there's a few kids in our class that can hack the school's network, hack anything, and then write programs and stuff. I mean, it's insane.
I'm not that good, but.
Like Cosmo,
I'm like the best kid
from
in
the
my class,
Windjammers. He knows everything about hacking.
Yeah, Cosmo's really good at hacking.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's ever actually hacked, but he knows every type of hacking. He
Digital
explained
Fortress,
it to me.
oh my god, that book.
Yeah.
Did you know what VirtualBox was?
Digital Fortress, I've read that.
The
Did
rotating.
you know what VirtualBox was?
I don't see how you can have a rotating clear text.
No.
That is just,
See, I think
encryption.
VirtualBox is the coolest thing.
What's VirtualBox?
That's where you can have a Mac on a PC on a Mac.
Or a Mac on a PC,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Linux on a PC, Linux
I knew
on a
about
Mac.
that.
That's awesome. I think that's just epic.
Or Linux on Linux, or Mac on Mac,
Yeah.
and you could run 2 operating systems of the same.
But like,
company.
it's funny like how we know how to use that, and if you gave it to a 25-year-old, put
You
it
gotta
in front
download
of
the
them.
ISO onto your computer and
We'd have
install
no
it onto
idea.
the
Yeah, I know.
VirtualBox. VirtualBox is like the best thing ever.
It's funny how
You
like
can manipulate it so much.
it's funny how
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
call who?
This lady.
It's funny how much we upgrade systems. I mean, I've probably upgraded like even my iPhone gets updated like once a month. Like, and it just gets faster and better and more like deep.
Okay.
Fixes all the bugs. Like,
Does your computers like totally like already like adjust to you? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
well,
have you seen?
You
Because
know,
people always
you-
talk to me about that, and I
you
don't
can
see it at
personalize-
all. Like,
Yeah,
you can
mine does.
because people don't know how to do it. Like,
Mine-
you can personalize your Internet Explorer to find what you
Like,
want.
my
You just have to
computer-
know how to do it.
My computer, okay, I have Google Chrome Canary build on there, and which is like the newest version of Google Chrome. Always updates
What
every
is it,
night.
Canary Bill?
Yeah, Canary build. It updates every night. Anyway,
how did you get that? What does that mean?
you look up Google Chrome Canary build and you download
Just
it.
download it.
So,
you can
and
download
It's
anything
the newest.
nowadays.
It's
Yeah.
the newest version.
So
It's like it's better than the developer build.
nice.
See, I think
It's the most experimental.
I think it's epic how you can download anything.
I run
Anything you
swag
want.
bucks on it, and I get money for searching the internet. And then
You have
swag bucks. What
You
it's
have-
called?
Swag books.
you get money for searching the internet?
Yeah, for searching for things, I get money.
How much money?
Like it takes a while, but like for however many points, 450 points, I can get a $5 Amazon card, or whatever.
Okay.
And I got it like a month ago, and I have 200 points.
See, that I feel like is a scam because they're just getting you to
Use the
their-
internet
use the
more,
internet,
but
which
yeah.
is giving them tons of money.
But
And
Use
you're-
their site. I only use it on Fridays. On
Yeah.
Fridays, you get double points.
That's a genius. It's a genius idea by the guy who made that because he's getting all this money.
Yes.
Just for you guys getting money, but not as much money, just to spend your time
Yeah.
on his
Yes.
site.
Because you don't have to
And
pay me to
then-
go on the internet.
And then there's we weren't okay.
No
And
idea.
then there was a sidebar in
But-
Windows Vista that I really liked that you could put all your gadgets on.
But yeah.
That they took that out in Windows 7. I put it back in.
But you can, I mean, it's not like to the point where you type something and it knows what you want, but there's a lot of personalization without even hacking or changing anything. There's a lot of personalization that you can do to make your internet more accessible to your needs.
Or
I'd
your
say
your
the
computer.
number one, like, most important job just right now, and it's probably going to be updated or go away at some point. But the most important thing companies want now is to be at the top of the Google search
Yeah.
list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
like
how you
if
do it
you
is get
type a
people to
word.
click your links.
yeah, and if there's
Yeah.
Wait,
genius-
are you talking about like when you type it into Google and it comes up with a list of like,
yeah, as long if
or are you when you
No.
search Google and it comes up with a list of websites?
companies are paying
Yeah.
like people to like a bunch of money just to if you know ways of
Because
making
yeah.
like the
because
smarter you can
When you
design
go
your
on Google, the first thing you click, you type in something, what's the first thing you click? The top one.
yeah, you always
like-
click the top
Yeah.
one.
No,
Nobody goes
I
down
actually
like
read
3 pages.
I read like the information, but it's usually on the
Yeah.
first page.
Yeah, nobody goes past page 3. I mean,
Nobody,
if I
I've
really
never
want to
gotten
find something,
past page 1.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
exactly.
ever gone past page 1.
so like,
Like in the recent
but Google
history.
search is so like, I mean, it's pretty epic. Like, you type something and it finds it. Like, I don't know how it does it. It uses the words or something.
No, doesn't. One thing I did was overclocked my processor.
What's that?
That's
Uh,
bad.
I run a fan on it, but
Well,
it makes it so that your processor doesn't know how fast it can go, and it just
So it goes
goes
faster and
full
faster
bore
and
all the
faster.
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll blow it out.
Yeah, after a that actually shortens your battery's lifespan
Yeah.
too.
I never unplug it.
That's a bad thing. You want to
Yeah.
unplug it.
Why?
Because it means once your
I was told
battery
not to unplug it.
battery runs at 100%, and then it drops like I don't know how often, but it drops down to like 99%, and then boots back up, and then drops down, and then it eventually gets down to like 98 and boot back up, 96, boot back up, until once you take your plug out, you're only gonna have like 15% of battery, so you're always gonna have it plugged in, and it just kills your battery life until you have to buy a new battery.
I take the battery out when it's plugged in.
You know what's
Unless
crazy
I'm
is
charging it.
Yeah.
they say that the whole world is going to become more even. Well, there's two different theories. Okay, there's this thing called this is so funny because like I'm gonna just tell you guys this topic that we always discuss, and like there's these set views on it.
Okay.
But like I bet you guys will have this a completely different and far more accurate assessment of
Okay,
the
well,
struggle.
don't say anything
so
until
it's
he
called,
finishes.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's called the digital divide. Okay. Do you know what it is?
Not really.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Okay, so there's these warring theories on whether or not so half the people think that the internet is going to make the entire world it's going to even the playing field for the entire world. Like
As in
they think that like third world countries are going to be able to become more similar to America in that like everybody's going to have India,
everybody's gonna have
and like
jobs.
everybody's going to have these opportunities and stuff because of the internet. Like will just make everything
Because they can
eventually
answer phone calls
even.
and
Right.
yeah.
And
I
then
gotcha.
there's this other theory that says no, it's going to completely like America is set at such a competitive advantage because of our access to like the internet and access to all this stuff.
It's gonna just make the divide even bigger.
Right. So like
I think it might actually do that one.
See, I think it's gonna make because just at the advantage that we're at like right now, kids our age right now know how to use the internet, know how to use
the computer.
everything. Kids in third world countries don't even know how to turn a computer on. I mean, they're like Derek Zoolander, like banging on the computer, you know.
But
like,
then there's third world countries where they've introduced like a cell phone. Like people like third world countries now that have cell phones got huge. Like computers, you're right. No one knows how to use a computer, but they skipped it. They skipped it entirely, and now iPhones and stuff are taking over for like.
But you're never gonna have that thing
Nobody's gonna have a computer anymore.
where people in third world countries are gonna have a computer or a cell phone. Not everybody's gonna have it, so it's not gonna.
Right.
So maybe one village has it, but that's never gonna like even the playing field because we're at such a high advantage right now. Maybe if you would have done it when the internet like started out, but because we're already 800 billion% times more advanced and more technological, and because our people just inherently know how to use computers and technology, we're at 10 steps above them. Even if they had all this stuff.
One thing I think about the computing industry right now is we all have computers right now, right? Like real desktop computers.
Oh, mine died.
Compare those? Okay. Well, like, you know how we have everything started out with like trucks when we started getting cars, right? Compared to that. We don't see as many trucks anymore, but those are what the desktops are. That's how it's going to work out.
See, I don't think so.
That's what I think is going to happen.
I think you're totally wrong. I think that you're always going to have your desktop, but you're going to have a mobile device like my iPhone.
Yep.
I honestly think the
It's not a
computer.
desktop. It'll just be a big screen.
I think laptops will become obsolete before desktops because you're always going to need something to go back to. You're always going to need a desktop or a laptop to go back to.
Okay.
Exactly.
And laptops are just for mobility.
Can I say something though?
Yeah, let's
and
go
mobility.
back. Are you going to talk about the digital divide?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Honestly,
I want to go
personally,
back
I
there.
think both is going to happen. Like in countries like India,
Desktop.
we're going to get closer.
That's the right answer.
But in third world countries where they don't have it at all, it's going to get
farther
farther.
apart.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's going to go both ways.
Because India's already like halfway there, but other countries that aren't,
that have no
South African
connection.
Right.
South Africa.
But here's what I'm saying. Like, I agree, and there is going to be I think that's going to happen. But I'm leaning towards eventually it'll all eventually it'll all even itself out just because it's
the
growing,
technology is growing so fastly,
and it's being dispersed slowly.
I mean, even villages in Africa aren't just gonna be like
they aren't gonna know how to do programs and stuff because they're just gonna have phones. You aren't gonna be able to do a program off the phone.